Well, round one, I already punched a hole in one of my veins. There it is. A little far back. There it is. Good. Another good one. What's up, everyone? Hope you're making progress towards your goals, capitalizing on your strengths, improving your weak points. This week we're going over shooting form and how to get the most out of your practice sessions with your bow. Stay tuned. Well, round one, I already punched a hole in one of my veins. Well, it's the best, worst thing in the world. So, how do we get the most out of our time shooting our bow? I know a lot of the times we don't have several hours to shoot and perfect everything, so we need to make the most out of our time that we do have. So first thing, practice shooting a very small spot. Whether it's a little tiny circle that you draw on your target, or it's the heart of your 3D target, whatever it may be. You want to be shooting at something small. It's going to force you to be accurate. Remember, the smaller spot you aim at, the smaller the margin that you'll miss by. Aim small, miss small. Let's work on that first. While you're shooting at your small spot, remember your form. Start from the bottom. Are your feet perpendicular to the target? Hips parallel with your feet. Shoulders should be parallel with your hips. So you have a straight line coming all the way up. Remember your T form. Start there. Make a T with your body. Hook your release. Pull back. You should still be here is your T. I've already got one on there. Next thing, make sure your anchor point is the exact same every time. Consistent anchor point means consistent shots, consistent groups. Another thing that's very difficult to master, it's called a surprise release. We're used to putting the tip of our finger on the trigger of our release, so it takes hardly any pressure to set it off. The problem with that is we get something called target panic, which as your pin moves across the bullseye, you punch that trigger. What that equates to is pulled shots, missed marks. What I want you to try is instead of the tip, put your first knuckle on that trigger. Once you're at full draw, get on target, put that first knuckle there. And what we're going to do is we're going to tighten our back muscles until that release goes off. Now, the weird thing about this is you're not always going to know when it goes off. So focus, instead of holding your pin dead on the target, float it right around where you want to hit. As your back increases tension, that release is going to go off, and your groups are going to tighten up over time. It might take a few rounds, but they will tighten up. The surprise release is something that target archers emphasize all the time. And it takes a good amount of practice to get comfortable with it. I'd like to touch on 2 points that shooters all too often forget about. First point is your follow through. What that means is after you release your arrow, stay on target. I see people a lot of the time release, drop their bow. You want your front arm to stay on target. You'll see target archers a lot of the time let their bow rock forward. That's okay, as long as your front arm stays on target. Second thing, almost all modern sights are equipped with a bubble level. It's there for a reason. Right before you release, take a look at that bubble level. Make sure that you're nice and flat and level. If you're canted one way or the other, your arrow's going to go one way or the other. We've got so many resources and technology in today's equipment. It's just flat out dumb to not utilize all of them properly. Hit your anchor point. Get your pin on target, check your bubble level, release, and follow through. Start from the bottom. This is my checklist in my head every time I shoot. Feet, hips, shoulders, clip your release, draw, anchor point, pin on target, bubble level, back tension, and release. That follow through is very important, everyone. Be sure that you're staying on target after your shot. See how we did. Little far forward, missed the vitals with one. Not too bad overall. Let's see if we can tighten it up. Well, I think I've got time and light for about one more good round. How do you tighten up your groups during your practice? I make sure everything is 100% perfect as best I can in my mind. It means my stance, my form, my aim, my release, my breathing even, all goes through my head before the shot. sometimes even thinking about it being your last round will help your accuracy. That was a good one. I'd say the number one most important thing to accuracy is the release. So do not punch that trigger. Practice your surprise release. You might get frustrated for a few rounds. They will tighten up, and you'll be amazed, and you'll be happy. Last arrow. Let's make it count. Sometimes if I'm shooting at a target with a deer on it, or right today I'm shooting my 3D deer target, I like to imagine it walking by. So I'll watch as it walks, imagine it walking behind a tree, draw, get on target. Just as it enters my shooting lane, I'll release. And today, I got him. Don't forget to like and subscribe, guys. Until next time, shoot straight.